Mhm.
Hello, welcome to our first episode of Roots to Riches. My name is Andy Lan,
And I'm Dominic Jones.
and we are two different, we're really good friends, right, Dominic? We're from different culture, different background, different language. Name it all. We're just different, but we the same at the same time. Right? Thank you for your friendship, brother.
I
Um,
appreciate
we we connected through real estate, right? So let me introduce myself a little bit to the audience, right? So my name is Andy. I'm an immigrant, originally from Hong Kong. Now it's part of China. That's another episode to talk about what that means. But I've been here in Denver, Colorado since 1993. Um, and I started my career in IT. I was there for 19 years and I slowly moved over to the real estate world. Currently, I have an insurance agency. I'm a licensed uh, real estate broker. I'm also a licensed loan officer. How about you, Dominic? Can you tell the audience about yourself?
Yeah, quick summary about me. Born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri. Love the culture and everything that developed me out there. Taught me how to be a go-getter, good hustler, especially with my mom and dad. We all came from nothing. I say I always pride myself, my parents, because we struggled as younger growing up, but my parents worked very hard and eventually got us out of a bad neighborhood and all, and built us a home. Got us set up to be a part of the desegregation program to get us out to these more thriving schools in the suburbs, which taught me how to be a chameleon. So, nevertheless, after about 20 years in management over AT&T, I ended up here in Colorado back in right before Thanksgiving 2015. Worked there for a while and then decided to jump onto my own thing and become a serial entrepreneur, I would say. In 2018, when I got my real estate license here in Denver. Hence, I met you, Andy.
Yes. And what
So,
what was your first like real estate related investment or business, or when did you buy your first house?
so I actually bought my first home when I was 22 years old in the suburbs. I don't know, Fallon, Missouri. Um, Seeing how the market was, this was back in, geez, 2004.
Okay.
um, yeah, so bought my first home. But then after I had two other friends of mine, we started a company called A Better Way Investments. We eventually ended up with about 18 single family homes. I'm sorry, 18 homes. There were some duplexes, and we had a triplex as well. Uh, but we built a really big organization then until you know what happened in 2008, 2009. It all came crashing down. I personally lost about $2.2 million in bankruptcy. Uh,
Wow.
yeah, I always had this itch to be in
But
the real estate market. I
you
love
were
how
not an agent yet, so you were not in the real estate professional business. You were
No, I
just
was
saying,
in the investment side, which, acquiring a lot of properties. We were flip and sell a few, and then we actually kept on some of them because they were in some new up and coming neighborhoods where we were renting them out. And we took on, I think at that time, we took on a little too much. Being so young, having that many properties at the time, it was a little tough for us, plus maintaining a full time career.
yeah.
Um, and then the market started going sideways and shit got crazy, man. Uh, when I had one property is worth about $600,000, and we had two doctors. I'm sorry, people in their doctorate program that were living there, and
Thought they
they
want to be.
both, yeah, the economy kind of shift. They couldn't pay their rent, and then after a couple months of that, when the banks start coming after you and your bank account, I had to make some changes there, and that
That's a
was hence our downfall.
that's a whole other episode to talk about the ups and
Sure
downs,
is.
right? So you and I kind of shared a similar experience, right? We started professionally somewhere else, and then we're trying to do invest by ourselves, right? and
Hmm.
later on we become professional. We both got license, and then that's when we met, right? We used to work for
Corporate
uh,
America.
well, I'm trying to talk about the brokerage firm. I don't want to say the name too. So we
Oh
both
yeah.
came from a corporate background, and eventually um, try to double dip and trying to do our investment while we had a professional job, right? Professional
Hmm.
career. And later on, we left corporate altogether and just do
Hmm.
real estate and other things related together, right?
Right.
So let's talk about Dominic. Why did we want to do this? This is our first episode, and you see everybody see the logo here. It looks so beautiful. I'm trying to make that sign. It's gonna cost money. I'm gonna make it happen. Roots to riches, right? So why do we want to talk about this, right? Can you share your idea? And I'll fill in mine.
Well, here, in the day, we all came from. I gotta be honest with you. We I s- we lived in a two-bedroom apartment. I'm the youngest of five. Five kids, mom, dad, two-bedroom apartment. Now, I didn't realize how broke we were back then because I had a good time. I spent some quality time with my brothers and sisters. We were very close knit family. I didn't realize how broke we were until I started going out to we call it West County in the suburbs of Missouri. And I started noticing all the people I was associated with out there. They had a whole lot more than I did. And listen to their conversations, family vacations, things like that. I'm like, hell, we don't get none of that. So, um, and one thing my parents always told us that we were always thriving for success. Where you're sitting at right now is not your tell all, right? We as human beings, we have the ability to accomplish anything we put our minds to. The human brain the human mind is a powerful tool to actually achieve any accomplishments or goals that you have if you're willing to put in the time and energy to do so. So my objectives kind of show, and I've always worked with some of the inner youth and some of the churches and all, and let them know that what your environment that you're currently looking at is not your reality if that's not what you want it to be. So I want to show people that you can come from nothing and achieve so much more. Now, at this stage in my life, well, what am I pushing, like 46, 47? I don't know. I stopped counting after a
My
while.
age.
Yeah. So I still got a lot more goals I want to achieve, but if you look at the accomplishments that we've all have made, especially you, I mean, Andy, I fantasize about some of the things that you have done too,
Wow.
because it's amazing with the
Thank
task. Like look at that American Family Insurance in the background, and they also, maintain your family, and then you and your brother have your investment thing going on as well, as long as with some of your networks stretch far, far through this state. So I just want to show people that we can make this happen.
you.
Right? You don't have to be a subject of your environment. So um, just give us some little insights of how to get out of it. It's all
Yeah,
about
well,
creating new habits.
thank you for
New habits.
sharing that. I'm with you. I also came from more like a humble beginning, if you will. Right, I'm an immigrant. When I first came here, I didn't speak the language. Right, I still remember first month. How about first few months in high school? I have to look at what my classmates are doing, what page are they on, because I couldn't understand what the teacher was saying. Right, uh,
Uh-huh.
then through hard work and perseverance, changing mindset, upgrading yourself, I try to do different things. And just like a lot of immigrants, I know you're not immigrant, but at one point your ancestor immigrant.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
I think the
Or
common
not. Hey, there's a theory also, Andy, that we probably would have been here before they shipped us
before
here.
the American Native Indian, it could, right? But
Could
anyhow,
be.
I'm with you. I'm just trying to share our experiences and around
Mhm.
us, right, Dominic? Around us, we have so many successful friends that
Yes.
came from humble beginning or really different background, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, I think Dominic and I both believe in if you were born poor, it's not your fault,
Hmm.
right? If you maintain poor somewhat, you have to take some responsibility. And
Right.
we're here to
100%.
show you, and we're going to be inviting different guests to come on and talk about their experiences. But you audience will find the theme that, hey, a lot of us came from humble beginning, a challenging environment, but we find our ways to change our mindset and make something happen, right? You don't have to do real estate, but we'll be inviting people that might not be in real estate. They might be a doctor, but they have a humble beginning. We
Yep.
just wanted to pass on the positive energy and the education that, hey, this could happen, right? You
Hmm.
could have a bad situation right now, but let's we focus and then focus on the right thing and then get yourself out of it and get to a better place. And a lot of times for us, for our family, for our next generations, right? Um,
Absolutely.
so that's why we wanted to have this channel and talk about um, other people's experiences, including ours, right? So
Hmm.
we do real estate, right? Why do we want to use real estate as a vehicle, right? I had another channel that I use Chinese in that channel with Mike, Mike,
Yep.
camera Mike, right? So we
Yep.
covered
Oh
some of
my.
this too, right? So let me start first, okay? So I bought, unlike you, I bought my first house not 2004. I bought my first place in 2000 while I
Nice.
was still a senior in college, and I didn't have
Wow.
any income. I only have an employment letter because I got lucky. I interviewed at the career center, so I got hired before I graduated. Then I took that contract of the employment and I went and get an FHA loan and bought my
Wow. I didn't know that, Andy. I just
first
didn't
time
know that.
first time home in Aurora. It was only $137,000 back then in 2000.
Nice.
I lived there
Hmm.
for 1 year, and then after that, I turned it into rental. Right? Uh,
Huh.
why did I do that? Because
Now, yeah,
few
where'd you
years.
learn that from? Being in, college, back in what was that? Being like what, 2000?
So I must say that I'm fortunate that my parents are doing some of that, so I see them do it.
Ah,
Right.
gotcha, gotcha.
Also, when I was in CU Boulder, I took enough classes from their real estate center
Mm.
to get a certificate, right? And also, there's a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah, we
Robert
all
Greene,
read that.
right? A lot of us read that, and then I don't have to agree with him 100%, but the overall uh,
The
mindset or
message. Yeah,
the message and the mindset is you have to find something, you have to own asset that will bring you income because he
absolutely.
talks about the four income quadrants, right? Number
Hmm.
one is again is when I had a job, and when you had a job, we're on salary, we're not hourly, but we're trading our time for it.
Right.
And that if you wake up and go to work, you get paid that day, if you don't, then you don't, right? So that's step number one, right? Step number two is somewhat what I'm doing right now. I'm a small business owner operator. I'm still
Hmm.
in my business in my office today, right? The next step, the third level is you run a business without you being there, right? Like
Hmm.
somebody that has
Oh,
a franchise restaurant chain, 7 locations, but he never had to step into the restaurant location
that's
at
right.
all, right? Because he has a
Hold on.
full.
Is that the Joe I met we did the closing for last month?
No, 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 no. That's
Yeah.
another.
'Cause they own a couple restaurants as well.
Yeah, there are a lot of people in my circle that have multiple restaurants. So
Nice,
that's also
nice.
a mindset thing that we could have another episode just talk about restaurant business and how do
Oh
they
yeah.
get where they're at. They have to start with something, right, and then grow to where they're at right now. So that's third level is have a system that you truly business owner and operator, right? The last and most important quadrant is use the money to make money. Making money while you're sleeping, while you whatever eating, you vacationing with your family. There are multiple ways to do that. But the most classic is really equity, which is stock and real estate, and then also there are a few other. There's crypto right now. There's a non
Yeah.
fungible token NFT, and then if you're in the real estate or insurance game, there's all this
Mhm.
multi-level organization that you could build, then you can enjoy the income without working because your team is working, right?
Right.
So
That's my main residual
that's
income, man. I want to be on the beach in the Dominican somewhere, or even like I don't know some island, and just seeing that check come in a weekly or monthly.
Yeah. So
Ultimate
that's
goal.
that's that's why I got into it. I somewhat lucky again. I was exposed to it, and also in my culture in Hong Kong back in the late 80s, early 90s, it's popping. So I'm just surrounded by it, and I've interest in making more money too. And then that's how I got started, right? But eventually, um, I was like you when 2008 when the financial crisis happened. I took a small hit. I didn't take a big hit as you, but the message is we're still learning. Right, everybody has a story, and most of the people. Here's the other thing why I want to have this channel is most of the people only talk about the good things,
Yeah.
right? Or you only see their good side, right?
Mhm.
You're not going to go ask, or people are not going to tell you by default that hey, these are all the things I have to do in order to get here. And then throughout the
Mhm.
journey, we also have our ups and downs, right? And it's normal, right? So
Mhm.
if you guys are having a tough time right now, I also learned that it's either good time or tough times. It's not constant. It doesn't stay forever.
Right. It's a
We learn.
season, right? You're going through a season. It will
Correct.
change.
Yeah,
Things
your
always
life
get better.
goes like that all the time, just like any market, real estate market, stock market, your life market is the same thing. You have good
Right.
times, bad times, but how do we also mentally go prepare ourselves for all these rides, right?
Mhm.
That's why we wanted to have this channel, so we could share the good energy and the good mindset, the right mindset, to
Mhm.
help people that who are wanting to do the same thing and get some empowerment and energy from it, right? And with
Right.
all the guests, right? Speaking of special guests, what who do you think of that we could bring on? Right, I talk about that. Restaurant owners, right? Multiple locations. I have um, franchise owner. They actually create their franchise. Right, many
Mhm.
artists. Like, what do you think that you're going to bring on here?
Well, I definitely one person I definitely is this is my one of my idols is my biggest brother, oldest brother because uh he's seen us at our low points, and now he is the CFO of IHG Hotels and
In Dubai.
seeing yeah he's in Dubai now. Now he was CFO for Marriott before they did their merger, and he's over the U.S. market. He's been over the India market. Now he's over in Dubai. So seeing some of his accomplishments that he's made has really, it's inspired me. Right.
Yeah.
But definitely, and I would love to, well, we have a trust fund friend, one of the Ford's family members. I would love to. I actually spoke to him the other day. He would love because he's got a lot of insight as well. It's good to get
Mr.
some insight
Forbes,
from the super rich. We'll call the ones who built wealth for their entire family
but
because that's an
he's
objective for
willing
us
to.
too.
You told him about this. He's willing to come on.
Oh yeah, yeah. Um,
He's a billionaire with a B, right?
with a B, with a big B. I
That's
mean, he was
awesome.
he was born with a B.
And I kind of want to touch on this here too. Like
Yeah,
people who are wealthy, rich, whatever you call it, they are also just regular human deep down, right?
absolutely,
It's
dude.
really low. Like I teach my kids this, right? One day, Anna, my daughter, 9 year old, but I think a couple years
Mhm.
back, she was crying to me and say, "Dad, that's not fair." I was like, Anna, and my son Austin was there at the same time. I was teaching them, hey, this world will never be fair. Accept
Mhm.
that, right? You can make it more fair, right?
Right.
But only there are two things are fair, if you ask me. Um, we all, no matter if you Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, whoever name it, Taylor Swift, right? We all only get 24 hours a day,
Mhm.
right? And we all fucking die one day.
Yep.
That's the only two things that is fair to us human, right? So it's really comes down to how do we manage our time? How do we spend our time while we're on Earth here, right?
Mhm.
And then the other thing that we will touch on with other people that we bring on the channel is why do you want to do what you want to do, right? So that's
Yeah.
another episode, just figuring out what do we want, why are we doing that, right? So it's exciting that the billionaire might be joining. Your brother could be joining us, right? And I
Right.
have
I
entrepreneur,
guess.
I have
Yeah.
other friends that was in the IT. Oh, by the way, the guy that have 7 locations, he was
Hmm.
also like me. He was in the IT industry, and then one day he just say, "Forget about it. I'm gonna go do something else and make the switch." Right? I have other friends that who is doctors, lawyers, somewhat more professional, share the similar
You're right.
path. They didn't have much, but they find a way to make it where they're at. Right?
You
So that's
know,
really exciting.
what's other because you just sparked my mind here. I was talking to some of the kids. I'd like to bring on one of these youths because I've been hearing kids. They're like my significant other, her son. Yeah, he's mentioned something to me the other day. He was like, because we were talking about he's getting to the age where he's about to go off to college, things like that. And he's like, no, I don't know what I really want to do. But he said, what I truly know is in my deep down, and he said, in my soul, I know that what I've been seeing is normal. What he's seen that his mom, his dad has gone through, he doesn't want to follow that route. He wants to create another revenue stream that he feels like he said the smartest thing. Like, I want to do something I love that it makes me money, so I don't feel like I'm actually working. I was like, where'd you get that from? He's like, it's dawned on me. I hear it. I just know that I've seen so many people just working and are not happy. That actually sparked me because I sometimes we know these youth, man. I get
It's also
scared about our
awesome to get
future.
the younger generation to come to the channel and share how they think, right? But it's
Exactly. I would love to bring one on.
amazing at a young age he thinks that, right?
Right.
But it
Give you some
comes down
hope for our future.
yeah, that's an
Yeah.
episode of itself again to do how do you figure out what do you want to do is um Steve Jobs didn't create Apple because he wanted to get rich. He
Mhm.
created Apple to provide the experiences to the people who wants it. But
Absolutely.
when he's done that well, then he get the money alongside with it, right? So,
Mhm.
no matter what we do, we live in a world that we need resources, money, resources, right? Whether it's America, North Korea, China, Russia, communist country, right? We still need resources, right?
Absolutely.
We still need
Yep.
money, like it or not, right?
Mhm.
Uh, but at the same time, we shouldn't work for that as a goal, right?
Mhm.
So there's a lot to talk about. Just an episode on how do we construct our goal, right? What is important? There's so many things together. You and I talk all the time, Dominic. Sometimes, it's not just money, but there's you can't mention it in the beginning. And thank you for your compliment. That there's so many things in my life or in your life, everybody's life. There's the money making part of it. There's the family. There's the kid, and you and I both have kids that don't live with us, so we deal with that also differently, right? There's so many
Yeah.
things. That's what elder. I met your mom. You met my mom. There's elder generation when they need us, we need to be there to help them. There's so many things to think about, right? Um,
Absolutely.
so that's kind of why we wanted to have this channel. Is to
Yes.
spread good energy, explain to people we have the story of success, right? And then
Yeah.
a lot of it is not is more bitter than sweet, right?
Mhm.
Behind everybody's success, there's so many stories that you don't know, they don't tell, right?
Right.
Uh, we talk about that. No matter if they're millionaire or billionaire, they're still a person. They they a lot of them they're not different at all. It's just a matter of if you get to talk to them and understand how they think, right? So that's really cool that you got the Mr. Billionaire connection coming from here, right?
Yeah.
Uh, so let's wrap up here, right? So this is our first episode. Our goal is to
Yay. We finally did it, man. It's been like what, 3 months. We say we're gonna get on here and do this. Because we got a lot to tell,
it's
a
always
lot of
tough,
information.
but keeping it going is also tough.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
let's pledge here that we're gonna keep this going. We're not gonna see results just like anything else, we're going to do this 100 times, 500 times, 1,000
Mhm.
times before we see some result. But this is also to show you that a lot of things, when you build something, that's what it takes. Bruce Lee said,
Absolutely.
I don't fear the guy that do one kick really good. I fear the guy that do the kick 10,000 times.
Mhm.
So just,
And Chris Tucker said,
Chris Tucker, do you understand the words? Come on.
"Oh no, we gotta play that little episode back." I shared that with my Facebook again. Actually, it was pretty
We do that.
interesting.
We do that next episode, and then we.
All right, sounds good.
So stay tuned. Follow us on YouTube, whatever, Facebook, Instagram. We're gonna drop all our information down there, and then
Right.
reach out if you want to chat. Right, we're always here to chat with people, because
Mhm.
we reach out to people to gain their wisdom as well. Right, we want to do the same for other people as well. So
Right.
next time, until next time, take
Sounds
care.
good.
Follow us. We'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.
All right.